Hi, it's Heidi Sawyer. I had an amazing opportunity to spend some evening sessions with a group of extremely motivated, intuitive, sensitive people. These are people who are driven to understand the deeper meaning and purpose of their life. During these sessions, I took them along a 7-step proven path that I have walked myself and helped many others do the same. That I've done with incredible results. I'm sorry you couldn't be there, but I hope this is the next best thing. These are excerpts from the live events. Here they are. Enjoy, and I hope more importantly that you do something with them for your life moving forward. Thank you for listening. Okay, so what we're having a look at today is we're having a look at step 6. Courage, the road to self-realization. So if you've missed out some of the steps, they don't all go in order. So they do go in an order. Rather, I mean that they are relevant as independent areas, rather than you think, oh, I missed out 3 and 4. Does that mean I haven't got the full picture, so to speak? So this stage is, as we look kind of further into the tree, what we're having a look at today is really quite centered around Darth energy. Okay, so to explain how Darth works, just before we kind of go into this, Darth it's the challenge, but it's the unexpected challenge. And most of us, when faced with an unexpected challenge, tend to go into a little bit of a personality meltdown. Whereas the soul energy is saying to you, it's fine, we'll do what we're doing. But the personality goes, don't think so. It's outside of what I know, it's outside of what I'm comfortable with. And quite often we'll keep things in order to, even if they're uncomfortable. And we'll keep things the same, even though they're uncomfortable, because it's what we know. And if you think about some of the things in terms of what we know, it's not only what we know, it's what we know through the generations. So a lot of things that are what you know, but are not the things that you find helpful anymore, have been there for your parents, your grandparents, their parents. It goes back, and it will go back a long way. Now, when we get to this stage of understanding within our own development, it's a big step, because it comes to the stage of letting go of what we think defines us. Okay, does that make sense? So at this stage, you're now looking at your world from the soul's perspective, rather than the personality. And the personality likes to have company, whereas the soul doesn't mind. The soul doesn't mind whether other people are joining it on a particular route in life or a pathway. It will enjoy the company, but it doesn't need it. Whereas the personality needs the connection, or it needs the reference as far as other people are concerned, in order to make it special. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. So at this stage, so at step 6, what we're looking at is how you reconcile this in your internal world so that you come to the end of the struggle between, and I'm going to say struggle because that is how it feels, the struggle between the personality's direction and the soul's, here I am, let's get on with it. Because from the soul's perspective, and it sits there and says, here we are, let's get on with it, it doesn't have the fears, it manages its way through them, and you will find that it's an aspect of self-realization. Because when we feel that we understand ourselves to that kind of level, whatever is happening in our external world is manageable. Okay, it doesn't ever feel like something you can't solve. So, how do we get there? Well, for starters, it's about understanding what courage consciousness is. What it is, it's the transient energy between leaving the old world and entering the new. Okay, does that make sense? So, when we leave the old world, when we leave something behind, automatically in life we will feel as though there's some kind of sentimental loss. Okay? You won't necessarily understand what it is, but you feel something. Okay? Even if what you're giving up or what is leaving, you don't actually want it anymore. Okay? And how many times is it when you try and throw something out and you think, oh no, I might need it. or you think, or you get 3/4 of the way there and then you feel guilty for the fact that you've put it by the bin. And for quite a few people, somehow or another it makes its way back into the house or it makes its way into the loft. Or somebody comes home and says, what's that doing by the bin? And they put it back. So even if that kind of sentimental feeling isn't necessarily from us, it's experienced around us, which is a reflection of our own internal world. Okay? So why does it happen? It happens because the monkey mind, okay, so the monkey, the personality, becomes attached to whatever marks our territory. Okay, so you've probably heard me say about the monkey before. The monkey is very territorial in our own minds. It likes to know where it lives, it likes to know what its space is. People become territorial over where they sit. At a lot of things that I do, and especially if it's over, a couple of days or what have you, I'll make people move around, and they hate it. They really hate it. And they really hate it because the monkey's saying, but this is my territory. But for the rest of us, in terms of our internal world, hello? Hello? So so our monkey, in terms of it's being territorial, and as I say, if I'm doing something over a weekend and I move people around and they hate it, they really hate it, and you can see them going, and then I'll make a joke of it and say, I know exactly what you're doing, you want to kill me for making you move. But why do that? Why make someone move if it is about them feeling safe? it's because then you get too entrenched in the monkey in order to realize the rest of you. So the monkey part is there, and it is meant to be part of who we are, and it is who we are. But at the same time, it's about training your monkey. Because no one would want to have any kind of interaction or a row with an out of control monkey. Don't know about you, but I think I'd probably leave the room. So in our own head, it's not something that we can reason with. You have to wait until it's calmed down. Now at this stage, you are understanding or recognizing how your monkey works. Okay, so even if you can't control it, you can at least understand or notice when it's wrecking the place. But most people in life don't notice when their monkey is wrecking the place. Okay?
This is really funny for me because my chocolate lab, I call her a little chocolate monkey.
But when we enter the space of courage consciousness, the old world is the leaving behind, and it's the leaving behind of self-worth issues, okay? It's also the leaving behind of things like non-productive relationships. And it is also, this is the really strong thing, it's the leaving behind of approval seeking. Okay, so a lot of our actions in this world are about gaining approval. And quite often it's about trying to gain approval from situations or people or dynamics that you're never going to get approved of. Okay, because it's not within their monkey's interest. Because their monkey is worried about being left. So their monkey creates merry hell because they're worried about being left and their self-esteem isn't high enough for them to feel as though your coming and going is fine. So what they try and do is keep you small enough that you won't leave. Okay, does that make sense? And that can be in all kinds of dynamics. It doesn't have to be in a romantic relationship. It doesn't have to be in a parental relationship. It doesn't have to be in a sibling relationship. It can be in work dynamics. It can be in friendships. Now, what happens is, as you get to the kind of stage of your own courage consciousness, you will find that certain relationships change or they start going away. And they may even be in a place where it's quite uncomfortable, and you think, well, what did I do to deserve this exactly? As you witness their monkey throwing things. And whether that monkey is throwing things, not literally, but it's throwing things in words, it's throwing things in behaviours. And for you, as a sensitive individual, you are going to find that that is deeply wounding. Because it leaves its mark. And it doesn't just leave a kind of a light dusting or something. It leaves a really muddy handprint. So as you come into courage consciousness, and you will find that you recognize certain parts of this, your self-worth increases to a level at which non-productive relationships have no option but to begin to leave your world. But if your monkey has been trained to keep non-productive relationships, you will feel very unsettled and very unhappy about that change. Okay, does that make sense? So sometimes we get into this habit of then trying to adjust so that you are acceptable to a non-productive relationship. Okay? And then what do? You try and morph yourself into something that you think is going to be approved of. But at this stage, that becomes an impossibility, which is why you find at a very deep level that it's increasingly difficult for you to compromise yourself, and that you can't do it anymore. You can't physically do it. It just doesn't work. You can't feel it, you can't do it. And the reason you can't feel it and you can't do it is because the soul's urge has got stronger than the personality. Okay? But there will still be an element of a disconnect, and in that disconnect you feel the aloneness. Does that make sense? So it's not easy. Okay? It's not easy. I never said it was easy, but it's worth it. For more great free content designed to support your purchase of my book, Highly Intuitive People, 7 Right Brain Traits to Change the Lives of Intuitive Sensitive People, please visit finallyfeelunderstood.com. There you can subscribe and download for free the meditation specific to today's episode. If you have already read the book, then it's time for you to receive exclusive access and support from me and your fellow intuitive sensitives as we go deeper together along this proven 7-step path by joining us in my monthly membership program called Heidi's Circle. There you can ask me anything in a safe and private environment, and I will answer you live. Join us today by visiting healmyinnerworld.com.